Hello, Incredible One. Welcome to the Leverage Your Incredible Factor Business Podcast, the place to be to grow a business that shakes the planet. I'm your host, spiritual business growth coach, Darnyelle J. Harmon. Join me each week for inspiring stories, powerful interviews, and business growth strategy to help you experience abundance in your life because of your business. Oh, and one more thing. On this podcast, I'm going to keep it all the way real with you about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the absolutely incredible of small business ownership. And don't worry, everything I have to share will help you to build a business that funds the life you crave. Let's jump into today's episode. You're listening to the Leverage Your Incredible Factor podcast with Darnyelle Jervey Harmon. If this is your first time joining me for the podcast, here's what I'd like for you to know about me. First and foremost, I am the absolute best at combining spiritual principles with business growth strategy to turn entrepreneurs into multiple 6- and 7-figure CEOs. Second, I don't do hustle and grind. I do spirituality and systems. And you might be wondering, what in the devil is an incredible factor? And if so, I invite you to go all the way back to the very first episode of this podcast. It's aptly titled, Exactly What is the Incredible Factor? There's even a cool worksheet that I want you to do that will help you to find yours. Oh, I will likely say some things that will make you laugh, a few things that could make you cry, and definitely make you question if you are ready to leverage your incredible factor. Remember, I'm a coach, and my job is to tell you what you don't want to hear and show you what you don't want to see, all to help you to become who God created you to be. I'm so excited that you're here. This episode is powered by open enrollment at Incredible Factor University. If you know that you need business growth coaching, spiritual covering, and guidance to truly leverage your incredible factor and take your business to the next level, then I invite you to apply to have a conversation with me. Listen, at Incredible Factor University, IFU is what we call it. We are literally helping entrepreneurs and small business owners who come through the door as entrepreneurs walk out of our doors as CEOs of 6- and 7-figure businesses. And I would love nothing more than to have a conversation with you about how we can help you to become our next success story. All you need to do is to go to coachwithdarnyelle.com. Again, that is coachwithdarnyelle.com, and start the process of applying to have a conversation with me or a member of our team. Now, in today's episode, I am sharing part 2 of the halftime training that I did earlier this month of June with my community. Listen, this training was so juicy good that I could not just share it with my community. I had to bring it out into podcast land. So here is the second part of the training, the rest of the powerful content that I taught specifically around business. And in this episode, you are going to learn the rest of the 5 things you must do to break through. In part 1, if you remember, we talked about making the decision to build a profitable planet-shaking company, right? Well, in this part 2, you are going to get help on getting clear on your business model and your revenue goals, how to map out exactly what you'll do to get there, how to master sales and marketing, and how to take consistent action with accountability to implement and see results fast. Listen, I broke my foot off in this training. I am still on cloud 9 about how phenomenal it was. And we are getting emails in the office every single day about how much the community enjoyed this training. So listen in to part 2 of halftime. Second thing is to get clear on your business model, your business and revenue model, right? So after you decide, you have to get clear on which of the 100 ways you are going to build your business. There are tons of them. Right? You want to get clear on your business model and your revenue goals based on metrics and results, not just what you desire. You have to be willing to list out all that you're going to want to experience to get clear on your true expenses so that you can know what the number needs to be. I did this exercise with the attendees at Breakthrough. I had them to complete their money map. In doing your money map, you literally break down everything that you need in order to live successfully in your business, right? Once you get clear about where you're at in your journey and where you really want to be, that decision is going to make it possible for you. And this is not about pulling revenue numbers out of your woo-ha. This is really about mapping out your expenses for the entire year, using a spreadsheet if you want, whatever else you want to add in that maybe wasn't part of your plan, and really making a significant change. That's the first part of really understanding what the money needs to be. And then identifying the business model that you're going to utilize to bring that money into you. It starts to come a little bit more easy for you. Here is any and every business model needs to have all of these things. Okay? You need to have lead generation. Lead generation is how you get new leads in, right? So how will you get a new lead? What are you going to do? There are lots of different ways to generate leads. My favorite is through speaking. Opening your mouth. Every time you open your mouth, I believe you should get paid. So how are you going to generate leads? That's the first question. The second thing, after you get a new lead, you've got to get them to opt in. They are at the point of opting in. They are self-selecting into whatever it is that you do to solve whatever problem is most prominent for them right now. So do you have an opt-in, and is it juicy? Your opt-in could be a training like this. It could be a webinar. It could be an audio download. It could be a chapter of your book. There are lots of different things that could be your opt-in. Is it juicy? Are people requesting it every single week? If they're not, it's probably not juicy enough. Or you're not consistently marketing, one of the two, right? Then the next thing is, how are you qualifying those leads? So just because I become your lead and I opt in, it doesn't mean that I'm going to actually buy from you. How many of you right now have people on your list that have been on your list for a period of time who have never purchased and may never purchase, right? So how are you going to qualify them? Qualification is validating that they are in fact a person who is interested in investing in you in the next 30 to 90 days. Ideally, you really want people to be qualified to invest within the next 7 to 15 days, right? But how are you going to qualify them? Ways that you can qualify them is through, like, let's say you use a webinar as an example. If you do an hour-long webinar, and the person stays on the webinar for at least 45 minutes, that could be considered qualification. So that's an example of what that could look like. And then what is your sales tool? Your sales tool could be a discovery session. It could be a page on your website if you're doing a sales page. It's a way that you convert them from a high quality prospect into a paying client. And then what are you selling them? What are you offering them? How is it priced? Is it priced to bring your business goals, your revenue goals into view quickly? Or is it like something with a 7 on the end that you're going to have to sell a whole lot of in order to get anywhere close to where you need to be? I remember having a conversation probably about 3 months with someone doing a discovery call. And she's like, yeah, I want to have $1 million business. I'm like, awesome. And so I was like, well, tell me about what you have right now. And so she's like, I've got 3 products. The first one is $97 a month. The second one is $497, and the third one is $997. And I said, and what's the time frame in which you want to generate $1 million? She's like, I'd like to get to $1 million within the next 3 years. Okay. I said, okay, that's doable, but not with these programs at these price points. And I proceeded to pull out my calculator for her and take 1 million and divide it by $997, 1 million and divided by $497, and 1 million and divided by $97. And she said I made her feel sick to her stomach because she had never thought about her offer and the price point and how it's going to bring her goal within view quickly. Is this helping you? If it's helping you, comment yes for me. You want to be able to hit your goals easily, very easily. And then the last part of it is enrollment. What are you doing once you make the offer to actually get people to enroll? What's the process you have in place to onboard a new client? The biggest thing I want you to take away from looking at this continuum, this system, this sequence, is that it is a system. So just like God is principled, you have got to be principled in your business. Did you catch that? You too need to be principled in your business. And that's what systems give you. They give you principles. So right now, I want you to think about it on this scale. On a scale from 1 to 5, 1 is this is happening in my business right. No. One is, I think I might need to get a job because I have never heard of or done any of these things. And 5 is, I'm ready to break through. Where do you fall out on a scale from 1 to 5 when you look at this sequence of what your business model needs to be able to produce for you? 1 is, I think I might need a job. 5 is, I'm ready to break through. Where do you fall out? I actually want to see this. So I'm going to stop sharing again so that I can see what you guys are commenting, because I don't know if I can see comments from here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can. All right, let's see. All right, so Tawanda is a 5, Dawn is a 5, Tanya is a 4, Carrie's a 4, Dee Sanderlin is a 3.5, Tamisha's a 5. Okay, good. Tamara's a 3, Candace is a 5, Rajid is a 5. Okay, good. So some of you guys are ready to break through. Awesome. Couple people being honest there too, because they're still working a job while building their business. I'm ready to break through, but I haven't implemented consistently. Then that means you're not ready to break through. Just keeping it real with you. Let's be honest, because the fact of the matter is, I can't help you if you're not sure where you are. Serena says she's a 5. You guys should check out Serena's new book, Water Walking, I think is what it is. Serena, feel free to put the link in there so they could get access to your book. I'm waiting on my copy because I ordered it. Milan says, I'm actually 2 and 4. Okay, I feel like there's a story behind that. Maybe we'll get to that later. But okay, so I appreciate your honesty. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep this party going. All right, so once you have a clear understanding of what your business and revenue model needs to be able to produce for you, then you've got to think about your revenue plan. So I'm going to give you a sample revenue plan for a $250,000 business, right? And I want you to know that the baseline for your business is a $250,000. We're not talking about $100,000 anymore. I already told you that, because a $100,000 business is still a poverty business, in my opinion, because you don't have enough to do everything that you want to be able to do, right? The goal is to position yourself to unlock 6-figure cash flow and actually pay yourself 6 figures. Life becomes different when you're paying yourself 6 figures, right? So it could look like this: 25 clients that are enrolled into a $10,000 program. And they might go through your signature business move, as I call it, to solve a real problem that's been keeping them awake at night. Or if you don't want to work with 25 clients a year, you could do it in 10 clients and have 10 clients all invest $25,000 to be able to work with you. Which one would you prefer? 25 clients or 10 clients? And I know some of you are like, okay, well, what am I going to sell them for $10,000? Who's going to pay me $25,000? You have got to decide that that's what it is, because you are brilliant right now and you can figure out what it needs to be. I want you to write this down. People will pay more than you think for the right program that has been packaged and positioned well. People will pay you more than you think. Let me tell this quick story before we move on. I remember it was probably 7 or 8 years ago. I had hired my first coach, because if you could do it by yourself, it would already be done. I had gotten as far as I could go on my own, and I needed to go to the next level. And so I pulled into my investment pouch and I invested, and I hired the first coach, and she was way more than I thought it was going to be, but I also was very clear that I needed it. And so although all I had in my bank account at the time is I had, some of you know this story, $2,034.19 in my checking account, and her deposit was $2,000. I gave her that $2,000, which meant I only had $34.19 left over. But a few days later, I had a conversation on my calendar already to talk with somebody about becoming my client. And although I hadn't barely done anything yet with my coach, because we're only like 4 or 5 days in, I knew that at least I was going to have a program that was valued at what I had just paid the coach, which, in case you were wondering, was $18,000. I just invested in myself at $18,000. So I'm having this conversation with this woman about hiring me to be her coach. It was private coaching, and I told her that the investment was $18,000. Do you know what she said? She said, can I wire you the money? People will pay more than you think for the right program that has been packaged and positioned well. When you do your job right and you help them to understand that not only do you get their problem, but you have a solution to it, people will pay you more than you think. Now I want to introduce you to Octavia, who I think is on the call. Doesn't she look fierce? She is looking really, really good. I love this picture of you, Octavia. So meet Octavia. She is an amazing virtual CFO who used to have the wrong business model, which made it really hard for her to hit her revenue goals. She was after the wrong clients. I like to call those clients spookypreneurs. She was after the wrong client. This woman is brilliant. Brilliant. You guys know how Amazon made like $8 billion last year and didn't pay any taxes? Well, Octavia not only knows that, but she helps her clients to minimize their tax liability as their virtual CFO. She's bad to the bone. Octavia is bad to the bone. Bad. Look at her. Look at that picture. She's bad, right? But she had the wrong business model, trying to serve the wrong client with the wrong prices. And then we decided to work together. We decided to partner to allow her to stand boldly in the space that she was already created to occupy. And here's what she had to say in her own words. Darnyelle doesn't hold anything back. I have the right systems to operate at the highest level. As a result of being Darnyelle's client, I have added more than $100,000 to my business's bottom line. Wow. The guidance, the coaching, the mentorship is beyond amazing. And the missing piece in my business was finally in place through connecting. And my family has benefited massively from my enrollment in Incredible Factor University. So that's Octavia. If you guys don't have somebody managing your financials and you want to learn more about her, go to sayyes2profits.com. That's her website. So now we're moving on to number 3, map out how you'll get there. So I want you to write this down on your sheet of paper. I see myself making X in the next 6 months by Y. X is the dollar amount. How much are you going to make in the next 6 months? Write it down. Decide right now. What is it? How much are you going to make in the next 6 months? Decide right now. Decide it. And then how are you going to do it? By doing what are you going to generate that money? So that means your programs have to be right. You need to not be a Band-Aid, and instead you need to be a complete solution for the clients that you want to serve. Your pricing has to be on point. You need to be well positioned, which means your marketing message, your brand message needs to clearly articulate who you are and for whom, and the problem you solve and how you solve the problem. And you need to be a broken record for that problem every opportunity that you get. And you need to have a clear process in place of how you help your clients. If you have all of these things, then you can make X within 6 months by doing Y. It won't be challenging if you take the time to do this work. So now I want to introduce you to Nancy. Nancy is a client that I worked with for many years, a few years ago. Again, another really, really powerful story about shifting the way you work in your business, which is why I included her here. She's a small business attorney who was sick of billable hours, and she loves helping small business owners avoid legal landmines. And here's what she had to say in her own words. I helped her to shift her business model to include speaking and well-priced group programs and offerings so she could get away from the billable hours. And through introducing her to leverage, she built a thriving practice and experienced her first ever $100,000 month. So here's what she had to say. With Darnyelle's help, I grew my business to $500,000 and had my first ever $100,000 month. My business is profitable. As an attorney, her strategies are just as powerful for me as they are for her other clients. I'm loving every minute of what we built together. So that's Nancy. Moving on to number 4. I'm trying to get these through so I can take some questions towards the end. Number 4 is master marketing and sales. Everything I just told you is mute if you don't master both marketing and sales, period. Now, I need you to keep in mind that marketing is literally just a conversation that you have with those who have the problem that you solve. And I need you to remember that marketing is literally just how you get found. The universal law of business says get found by a group of people who have the problem you solve that are ready right now to pay for a solution to that problem. Now, I should tell you that there are at least 40 different ways to market, at least 40. So some of y'all who are only using social media, that could be why you're not getting where you want to be. There are merits to social media. Please don't misunderstand me, but it cannot be the end all be all marketing strategy that you utilize if you expect to take your business to the next level, especially if you want to do that through high ticket. It's just not going to happen on social media alone. Now, what you need to do is identify the 5 to 7 that are best for you that you can build a system around. So which ones are best for you? Okay? And then once you've gotten found by your ideal clients, you are in a position to get paid. And the way you get paid is through sales. Write this down. Nothing happens until I sell something. Mary Kay Ash said that. Nothing happens until I sell something. So you have got to get the sale. But most of you get hemmed up in the sales process because you get an objection and you don't know what to do with yourself. So let me just set the record straight for you. The sale doesn't even start until you get an objection. I know I just blew somebody's mind, but the sale does not even start until you get an objection. If the sale doesn't start until you get an objection, this could be why you're not closing. I literally was having a conversation last week with a new potential client who is having plenty of conversations. People are getting on her calendar to talk to her, but she is not closing them. And I told her, it's something you said or didn't say after they told you why they couldn't. That determines who leaves with the product. You have to see the objection for what it is. The objections tell you what is keeping your prospect stuck. So don't be afraid of the objection. Look at what they are telling you and remind them that's why they're talking to you in the first place. When you understand their pattern and what's keeping them stuck, you can then help them to make the shift so that they can say yes to themselves. Did you catch that? They are not saying yes to you. They are saying yes to them through you. Write that down. They are not saying yes to me. They are saying yes to themselves through me. Once you get that, it will allow you to detach, because a no is not a no to you. A no is a no to them. And you can ask them, do you really intend to stay in the same place? Do you really intend to take the chance that you're actually going to come out where you want to be when I know that if we work together, you will? You've got to not be afraid of the objection and instead walk into it. It's your opportunity to help them to shift. You have to help them to shift their consciousness and help them to understand that if they don't take you up on your offer to help them, they're going to be in the same place or worse. Write this down. People are literally looking for a breakthrough. They want to know what's stopping them from getting what it is that they want. And the only way they will finally get the results is if you are courageous enough to overcome their objections. But you can't help them if you are not sure how to help them break through. So when you're on the discovery call, you have to be fully present so you can hear between what they're actually saying and be willing enough to call them out. Remember, if they have a problem and they are meeting with you, they see you as a solution to the problem. So you have to be honest and call them out on their crap. Otherwise, their cycle will continue. You will not break the pattern. They will stay in the same place. And remember, if they are meeting with you, the invitation is your validation. Demonstrate your value to them. They see you as the solution. And when you show up fully and tell them the truth and you're honest with them and you don't accept their crap, then you're going to lead them to a breakthrough and they will know it. Remember, your clients aren't paying you to get liked. They're paying you to get results. You have to be willing to tell them the truth to lead them to their breakthrough. And one last thing, don't expect your business to perform at a level that you're not capable of performing at. Let me repeat that. Don't expect your business to perform at a level that you're not capable of performing at. You have to demonstrate your value. You have to recognize that the objection is your time to demonstrate who you are. See, some of you have operated in so much lack that you are afraid to show them how to hire you and how to afford you because you feel like you're giving your coaching away. And trust me, please don't misunderstand. I don't want you going out there and giving them the strategy on how to solve their big problem for free. But I do want you to demonstrate your value. Take them through an exercise that helps them to see what it's going to be like when they work with you. Don't be afraid of that. If you're spending a year with them, there's no way in the world you can give them everything that they need in one conversation. That's lack. Lack will keep you in a business that doesn't serve you. If this is making sense and it is helping you, comment yes in the chat for me. I'll give you guys a second to comment. Yes, I'm going to take a drink of water. My mouth is a little dry. All right, I see the comments starting to come in now. Good. Awesome. All right. We're almost at the end. So I got one more for you, and then I'm going to open it up for some questions. So let's keep this party going. So the last thing is to take consistent action with accountability to implement. It's last but not least, but it is really the key to you going to where it is that you want to be. If you could do it by yourself, it would already be done. I know that to be true, right? In fact, there it is for you on the slide. If you could do it by yourself, it would already be done. Everyone needs coaching. I don't know one person who has gotten to a point of success without somebody helping them. There's no such thing as a self-made anything. And I know what people really mean when they say that is that they didn't, they bootstrapped it. They didn't inherit money. They did the hard work, but there's no such thing. Everyone needs coaching. And keep in mind that coaches tell you what you don't want to hear and show you what you don't want to see, all to help you to become who God created you to be. And what I love about my programs, because for just a moment, I am going to toot my own horn as we talk about getting accountability. You get a business coach. We just actually revamped our programs. Now you get a life coach and an accountability coach all in my program. Like it's designed to holistically give you everything that you need to be set up to win. I think it's hard to get a return when you aren't investing. Or as this says, it's hard to read the label when you're inside the jar. And for those of you who don't, especially those of you who are coaches or consultants, like you're advising people in some way and you don't have people advising you that you invest in. I'm not talking about your mentor that you've had since you were in high school. I'm talking about paid coaching and development. If you are not investing in someone else, why would you think that people would invest in you? So one of the laws I taught at Breakthrough was the law of compensation. You sow what you reap, right? Or you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. If you're not sowing into yourself through investing in someone else, then you won't reap the benefit of other people investing in you. So it's lopsided, and that could be part of the reason. Like I had to have a very real conversation with a family member recently who was upset and disgruntled and didn't want to pay a bill. And I had to be like, yo, listen, you cannot pay that bill if you want. And then you'll be wondering why your money is funny. It's never worth it. It's never worth it. So let me talk to you about, in case it'll be helpful, let me tell you how I decide who I'm going to invest in myself. And I think it's important because whether it's me or someone else, you guys need to invest in someone. Maybe it's me, maybe it's someone else, but you definitely need to invest, right? I tend to think because you're listening to me, it might be me. So the first question I always ask myself is, does the coach have experience? Like I don't have time for someone who used to be really, really good. I need somebody who's already walked a mile in the shoes that I want to put on. I look to see if they have a viable system that they are using in their own business as well as results from their clients. Then I ask myself, is the coach currently doing what I want to do? Again, I don't have time for someone who in their heyday was making it rain in their business. I seek coaches and mentors who are actively making it rain in their business. Third, I verify that their values align with my values. Do I trust their character? If I call them and tell them something is wrong, will they pray with me? Like that's important to me. Does God speak to and through them on my behalf? Oh, that is really, really important. And of course, my clients know that they get that. Does the coach have success stories to prove their claims, right? And you should want to have people, you should want to talk to people who are on these people's websites. You should want to talk to them and make sure. And then the last question I always ask myself is, what will happen if I don't move forward? If I don't take the action? Will the cost of not acting outweigh the cost of investing? That's what I always ask myself, because it's really important. Because if I invest, 9 times out of 10, I will shorten my learning curve, which will also save me time, money, and frustration and confusing. For me, it's less about what it will cost and more about the return I will get if I invest. I tend to think about if working with that coach or mentor, what it will be worth to me in the next 3 to 5 or even 10 years. And if I'm being honest, this is part of my abundance mindset that has kind of allowed me to be where I am in my business today. And I think I shared with you guys earlier when I was talking about the ramen noodles and peanut butter and jelly. If I did in the first year of my business, I only made $20,000. And we have consistently improved. We did 7 figures by 2014, and we're just constantly generating more than I need. You know, my prayer every single day, and part of what I'm grateful for is that I have more money than I can spend, give, invest, and save. If you could get excited about having more money than you could spend, give, invest, or save, comment yes in the chat for me. So how coaching works, if you've never been in a coaching relationship. So remember this thoughts, feelings, words, actions, results, right? So if there's a disconnect between your actions and your results, then you need a coach to help you to shift your mindsets so that you can take the right actions and get the results that you really crave in your business. That's how that works. So personally, I've invested more than $250,000 in my coaching and development. I think to get what we want, we invest. It's what we do, whether it's a house, a car, a nice handbag, shoes, yada, 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 we invest it, right? I like to think about attorneys, that one of my favorite types of clients that I work with. The average attorney is in school for 3 years and their bills rack up to about $130,000 when it's all said and done. And the best ones come out and make about $160,000 a year. You could shift and get coaching and support and earn more than attorneys do in way less time. I think that if you really want to short the learning curve to take your business to the breakthrough that you're wanting, you do it by investing in a coach. That's just my 2 cents. I just wanted to share that with, because I think it's a big part of the 5 things you need to do before this year is out to get where it is that you want to be. Now, when I always say this all the time, when people come into my space, they make more money, they change their lives, everything changes. Everything that I just shared with you today is simple, but it isn't easy. And you literally have a choice to make. You could literally watch the replay that we'll send you tomorrow 20 times, and most of you still won't know what to do. Although I've given you what it is, I've literally told you the strategies, I broke it down for you. That is not enough for you to actually get the results that you're wanting from it, right? So you have a choice to make, and it's that simple. And for those of you who are ready to make this choice, I'm happy to do so. A few more slides, and then like I said, I'm going to turn it over to take some questions. Option 1 is to try to take everything I just taught you and implement it on your own. The challenge is that time didn't allow for me to customize the training to your specific business, and that will reduce the likelihood of your being successful. Option 2 is to let me help you. I'll literally jump on a call with you to help you to craft a step-by-step game plan to hit your income goals this year so that you can break through in your business now. I'll show you how to change everything so that you can get what I like to call because I can money. And because I can money is because you can, right? Like there's no robbing Peter to pay Paul. You just bought it because you could. I think about when I first started dating my husband. I don't think we were engaged yet. We were just still dating. He had never been to Madison Square Garden. And so because I could, we went to Madison Square Garden. We had an amazing time, amazing seats. He couldn't believe it. Like literally right behind Celebrity Row. It was phenomenal. If you've ever been to MSG, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was amazing because I could. First time we went on a vacation trip, I upgraded us to first class because I could. Because I could. Isn't that nice? If you want some because I can money, put because I can in the chat. Or option 2, is to get on a call with me. And during the call, I'm going to help you to get clear about your business goals, determine what you should be charging to hit those goals, and confirm that you have the right business model for yourself. We'll be on the phone for about 45 minutes. It's really a working session to help you to create the game plan to hit your income goal before this year is over and helping you to get the business positioned for 6-figure cash flow. And it's my gift to you. I will literally help you to get clear on those goals and what you should be charging and make sure you have the right business model. And I like to do it because if we are the right fit to help you to achieve all of the goals that we outlined, we can talk about what it would look like for us to work together. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is not for everyone. It's only for you if you are incredible at what you do. I only work with high achieving, bad mama jamma, and I don't know what you call a man, right? Bad girls and bad boys in business. That's all I work with. If you are thebomb.com and what you do, then this could be for you. If you're finished making excuses and playing small, you're ready to break through in your business through taking decisive action and investing in yourself at the highest levels, and you're 100% committed to doing the work required to break through, then I invite you to apply to have a conversation with me. And again, I'm doing this because when you've been blessed, you pass it on. It's what you do. So I'm going to leave this up for a few moments. For those of you who want to go and apply to have a conversation with me, you want to go to darnyelle.com/session. I should be honest. You're going to get to have a conversation with me, not my team, me. So spaces are limited. So if you know you want one of them, especially for the rest of the month of June, we're in open enrollment at Incredible Factor University. So we're looking to see if there are more people outside of those who are at Breakthrough who enrolled in our programs to work with us. You might be one of those people. If you want to be considered for the opportunity to have me change your business and your life and show you how to make more money doing only what you love and setting you up to win in every way, then you want to go to darnyelle.com/session. But again, I'm doing these conversations, so space is very limited. So you want to sign up now. Don't play. Didn't I tell you that training was the bomb.com? I know I told you. I'm so excited that you listened all the way through. What I loved about this training is it felt like it had been such a long time since I did a training that was just on business strategy and literally laying out for you what your business model needs to produce. Gives you a really, really clear roadmap of if you're on track to break through in your business this year, or if you need more guidance and support. And if you fall into the latter category, then again, let me offer you an opportunity to apply to have a conversation with me or a member of my team. You can quickly go to coachwithdarnyelle.com. Again, that's coachwithdarnyelle.com. It'll lead you to the same exact place as darnyelle.com session. I would love to chat with you and to see if together we have what it takes to position you to truly leverage your incredible factor. I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me for the Leverage Your Incredible Factor Business Podcast. I'd really love to help you grow a business that funds the life you crave while doing work that shakes the planet. Get started today by applying for a discovery session with me or a member of my team at darnyelle.com/session. And if you enjoyed our time together, do yourself a favor. Head on over to iTunes, subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. Until next time, remember, you do deserve a business that funds the life you crave. Take care.